Ladies and gentlemen, let me begin by saying this transformation is not a miracle. It's a decision followed by action. You don't stumble into a better life, you create it. And the good news is that true change doesn't require years. It starts the moment you shift your habits. Today, I want to share with you 5 habits that changed my life in just 1 week, not a month, not a year, 1 week. But here's the secret. The power wasn't just in the habits themselves. It was in the discipline, the intentionality, and the commitment to living with purpose. The first habit I adopted was to wake up every morning and ask myself, what is my purpose today? You see, purpose is the compass of life. Without it, we're like ships drifting on the ocean, moving but going nowhere. For 1 week, I refused to let comfort dictate my decisions. I stopped hitting the snooze button, stopped scrolling aimlessly, and instead directed every action toward my purpose. Ask yourself, are you living by design or are you living by default? A life of default may feel easy, but it won't take you to your destiny. Words have power. They can build or destroy, uplift or crush. For 1 week, I made it my mission to think carefully before I spoke. Every word I uttered had to align with the vision I had for my life. If it didn't edify, encourage, or empower, I held my tongue. You'd be surprised how much energy we waste on careless words. Instead, use your words to create the world you want to see. We often wait for big opportunities to prove ourselves, but life is shaped in the small, seemingly insignificant moments. For 7 days, I focused on maximizing the little things, finishing tasks I had been procrastinating, organizing my workspace, and being present in conversations. Small changes compound into massive transformation. It's not what you do occasionally that changes your life, it's what you do consistently. One of the greatest revelations of my life is this: your potential is limitless, but it must be cultivated. For 1 week, I committed to learning something new every day. I read, listened to uplifting messages, and surrounded myself with people who challenged me to grow. Growth is not automatic, it's intentional. If you want your life to change, you must elevate your thinking. Remember this: the person you are today cannot handle the blessings meant for your future. So grow into the person you need to become. Finally, I chose to give freely my time, my energy, my resources without expecting anything in return. This habit humbled me and reminded me of a profound truth: you are blessed to be a blessing. When you give, you create space for abundance to flow into your life. Generosity shifts your mindset from scarcity to abundance, from fear to faith. Prioritizing purpose over comfort is one of the most profound choices a person can make. It's a decision that redefines how you view life, how you allocate your time, and how you respond to challenges. Comfort is alluring. It's the soft pillow that whispers to you to stay where you are, to avoid risks, and to embrace the familiar. Purpose, on the other hand, is the fire that propels you into the unknown, requiring courage, discipline, and a willingness to embrace discomfort for the sake of growth and impact. When I talk about prioritizing purpose, I'm not referring to some abstract or lofty ideal. Purpose is deeply personal, and it's the compass that guides you toward the unique contribution you were designed to make. Yet so many people trade purpose for comfort. Why? Because comfort feels good in the moment. It's easy to relax into routines that don't challenge you. It's easy to choose entertainment over education, procrastination over productivity, and the known over the unknown. But comfort, while temporarily satisfying, has a way of keeping you stuck. It seduces you into believing that where you are is enough, even when something deep inside you whispers that there is more. The truth is, every great achievement requires a departure from comfort. Imagine a seed planted in the ground. To grow into a tree, it must break through the shell, push through the shell, and reach for the sun. This process isn't comfortable, it's full of resistance and struggle. Yet without it, the seed remains dormant, full of potential but unfulfilled. Human life mirrors this process. You cannot grow into your full potential while clinging to what feels safe. Growth demands discomfort, and discomfort is the price of purpose. Prioritizing purpose requires a shift in mindset. You must stop asking what feels good right now and start asking what moves me closer to my purpose. This question forces you to evaluate your decisions through a lens of intentionality. For instance, waking up early to work on a project that aligns with your purpose may not feel comfortable, but it's a choice that produces long-term fulfillment. Skipping that extra hour of television to read a book or develop a skill may seem like a small sacrifice, but over time, these choices compound into remarkable transformation. God, when you prioritize purpose, you also redefine your relationship with failure. Failure, for many, is a source of fear. It's something to avoid at all costs because it's uncomfortable. But when you are driven by purpose, failure becomes a teacher rather than an enemy. You understand that every setback is an opportunity to learn, refine, and grow. The discomfort of failure pales in comparison to the regret of not pursuing your purpose at all. This perspective shift liberates you from the paralysis of fear and equips you to take bold steps towards your goals. Such living for purpose over comfort also impacts how you use your time. Time is the most valuable resource you have, and how you spend it reveals your priorities. Comfort often tempts us to waste time on distractions, scrolling aimlessly through social media, binge watching shows, or engaging in activities that don't serve our greater mission. When you prioritize purpose, you become more intentional about how you allocate your time. You recognize that every moment is an opportunity to move closer to your goals, to serve others, or to invest in your growth. Another dimension of this principle is the way it shapes your relationships. When you prioritize comfort, you may surround yourself with people who affirm your current state, even if it's holding you back. But when you live for purpose, you seek out relationships that challenge you, inspire you, and hold you accountable. Purpose-driven living often requires you to step away from certain environments and relationships that no longer align with your vision. This isn't always easy. It's uncomfortable to leave behind what is familiar. Yet the reward is the company of people who push you toward greatness rather than pulling you into complacency. It's also important to understand that prioritizing purpose over comfort doesn't mean you reject rest or joy. Rest is essential and joy is a byproduct of living with intention. The difference is that rest and joy become purposeful rather than indulgent. Rest isn't about escaping from responsibility, but about replenishing your energy so you can fulfill your purpose more effectively. Joy isn't derived from fleeting pleasures, but from the deep satisfaction of knowing you are living in alignment with your values and potential. Purpose-driven living is not without its challenges. The path of purpose is often marked by resistance. There will be moments when you doubt yourself, when the journey feels too hard, and when the temptation to revert to comfort feels overwhelming. In those moments, it's crucial to remember your why. Why did you choose this path? What is the vision that keeps you moving forward? When your why is strong enough, it will anchor you during the storms and remind you that the discomfort is temporary, but the impact of your purpose is eternal. When you commit to prioritizing purpose, you also inspire others. People are drawn to individuals who live with clarity, passion, and determination. Your choice to live for something greater than comfort sends a powerful message that a life of purpose is possible and worth pursuing. You become a beacon of hope and a source of encouragement for those who may feel stuck or unsure of their path. In this way, your decision to prioritize purpose has a ripple effect, impacting not only your life, but the lives of those around you. The beauty of living for purpose over comfort is that it leads to a life of meaning. Comfort may provide temporary pleasure, but it cannot offer the deep sense of fulfillment that comes from knowing you are making a difference. Purpose gives you a reason to wake up in the morning, a sense of direction, and the courage to keep going even when the journey is hard. It transforms ordinary days into opportunities for growth and contribution. It reminds you that your life is not just about you, but about the impact you can have on the world. Ultimately, prioritizing purpose over comfort is a choice you must make daily. It's not a one-time decision, but a continual commitment to live intentionally. Each day presents new opportunities to align your actions with your purpose, to embrace discomfort as a necessary part of growth, and to resist the pull of complacency. This commitment may not always be easy, but it is always worth it. Thinking before you speak is one of the most powerful habits you can develop. Words carry incredible weight. They can inspire or discourage, build up or tear down, and bring clarity or confusion. The way we use our words shapes our relationships, influences our opportunities, and even defines the legacy we leave behind. Yet in the fast pace of life, it is easy to forget this truth and speak impulsively. The problem with speaking without thinking is that once a word is released, it cannot be taken back. It becomes part of the reality you create for yourself and others. This is why cultivating the habit of thinking before speaking is not just beneficial, it is essential. When you think before you speak, you are engaging in an act of mindfulness. Mindfulness involves being fully present and aware of the impact your words can have. It is about pausing, reflecting, and choosing language that aligns with your values and intentions. This habit requires discipline because it asks you to interrupt your natural impulse to react. Instead of letting emotions dictate your speech, you learn to process them first and then articulate them in a way that adds value to the conversation. This does not mean suppressing your emotions, but rather channeling them productively. One of the key benefits of thinking before you speak is the ability to communicate with clarity. When you pause to think, you give yourself time to organize your thoughts and express them more effectively. This is especially important in moments of conflict or tension. When emotions are high, it is easy to say things that are misunderstood or misinterpreted, but a well thought out response can diffuse conflict, promote understanding, and lead to constructive outcomes. Clarity in communication builds trust because people know they can count on you to speak with intention and integrity. Thinking before you speak also protects your relationships. Words spoken in haste can cause deep wounds that take time and sometimes great effort to heal. Hurtful words can damage trust, create resentment, and lead to unnecessary misunderstandings. On the other hand, when you take the time to think, you can choose words that nurture and strengthen your relationships. You can communicate love, respect, and appreciation in ways that foster deeper connection. This is especially important in close relationships where emotions often run high. In these moments, the discipline of pausing to think can mean the difference between building bridges or burning them. One of the key benefits of thinking before you speak is the ability to communicate with clarity. When you pause to think, you give yourself time to organize your thoughts and express them more effectively. This is especially important in moments of conflict or tension. When emotions are high, it is easy to say things that are misunderstood or misinterpreted, but a well thought out response can diffuse conflict, promote understanding, and lead to constructive outcomes. Clarity in communication builds trust because people know they can count on you to speak with intention and integrity. Thinking before you speak also protects your relationships. Words spoken in haste can cause deep wounds that take time and sometimes great effort to heal. Hurtful words can damage trust, create resentment, and lead to unnecessary misunderstandings. On the other hand, when you take the time to think, you can choose words that nurture and strengthen your relationships. You can communicate love, respect, and appreciation in ways that foster deeper connection. This is especially important in close relationships where emotions often run high. In these moments, the discipline of pausing to think can mean the difference between building bridges or burning them. In professional settings, the ability to think before you speak is equally critical. Whether you are in a leadership position or collaborating with a team, your words carry influence. A careless comment in a meeting or a rushed email can undermine your credibility and create unnecessary confusion. On the other hand, thoughtful communication demonstrates professionalism, respect, and competence. It shows that you value the time and perspectives of others. This habit is especially important in leadership, where your words set the tone for your team. Leaders who think before they speak inspire confidence and encourage open, honest communication within their organizations. Another aspect of thinking before you speak is the power to uplift and empower others. Your words have the potential to be a source of encouragement, motivation, and inspiration, but this requires intentionality. It is not enough to simply avoid harmful words. You must actively choose language that builds others up. This might mean offering a kind word when someone is struggling, expressing gratitude for someone's efforts, or sharing a vision that inspires hope and action. Thoughtful words have the power to change someone's perspective, restore their confidence, or even ignite their purpose. The discipline of thinking before you speak also helps you avoid unnecessary regret. Everyone has experienced the sting of saying something they wish they could take back. These moments often occur when emotions cloud judgment or when we speak without fully understanding a situation. Bad regret can linger, especially when our words have caused harm or misunderstanding. By pausing to think, you reduce the likelihood of these moments. You give yourself the opportunity to choose words that align with your intentions and avoid the pitfalls of reactive speech. Thinking before you speak is not just about the words you say, it is also about the timing of those words. Sometimes the best choice is to say nothing at all. Silence can be a powerful tool in communication, giving you time to reflect and others the space to process their thoughts. It can also demonstrate wisdom, especially in situations where emotions are running high and anything you say could escalate the tension. Knowing when to speak and when to remain silent is a skill that requires self-awareness and emotional intelligence. Developing the habit of thinking before you speak begins with self-reflection. You need to understand your triggers, the situations or emotions that lead you to speak impulsively. For some, it might be frustration or anger. For others, it might be excitement or anxiety. By identifying these triggers, you can become more aware of the moments when you need to slow down and think. This self-awareness allows you to take control of your words rather than letting your emotions control you. Another important aspect of this habit is empathy. When you think before you speak, you consider not only what you want to say, but also how your words will be received. You put yourself in the shoes of the other person and ask, how will this make them feel? Will it help or harm? Will it bring clarity or confusion? Empathy allows you to tailor your words to meet the needs of your audience. It helps you communicate in a way that is not only honest, but also compassionate and considerate. Practicing this habit also requires patience. In a world that values quick responses and instant feedback, taking time to think can feel counterintuitive, but the value of thoughtful speech far outweighs the convenience of rapid replies. This is particularly true in the digital age, where words are often documented and shared widely. A careless comment on social media, for example, can have far-reaching consequences. By taking the time to think, you ensure that your words reflect your true intentions and values, even in the fast-paced environment of modern communication. Finally, thinking before you speak is an act of responsibility. It is an acknowledgement that your words have power and that you are accountable for how you use that power. This habit is not about perfection. No one will get it right all the time. But it is about making a conscious effort to speak with purpose and intention. It is about recognizing the influence you have and choosing to use it wisely. When you think before you speak, you demonstrate respect for yourself, for others, and for the opportunities that every conversation brings. Mastering the small moments is a principle that carries immense transformative power. It is often said that success is not the result of one grand event, but the culmination of consistent actions taken over time. Life is not lived in sweeping gestures or dramatic breakthroughs. It unfolds in the quiet, often overlooked moments that make up our days. These small moments, though seemingly insignificant, are the building blocks of our habits, our character, and ultimately our destiny. When we learn to value and master them, we unlock the potential for extraordinary growth and achievement. Small moments are everywhere in the way you begin your day and how you interact with others and in the decisions you make when no one is watching. They are the choices to rise early or hit the snooze button, to extend a kind word or remain silent, to take responsibility or shift blame. These moments might appear trivial, but they reveal much about who you are and where you are headed. Mastering them requires intentionality and an understanding that every decision, no matter how minor, contributes to the trajectory of your life. The challenge with small moments is that they are easy to dismiss. Their very nature makes them seem unimportant. It's easy to think that skipping one workout won't matter, or that letting a few minutes slip by in distraction won't impact your goals. But the truth is, small moments compound. A single missed opportunity might not derail your plans, but a pattern of neglect will. Conversely, consistently making the most of these moments builds momentum that propels you towards your goals. This is the essence of mastery, recognizing the significance of what others overlook and treating every moment as an opportunity to improve. Mastering the small moments requires a shift in perspective. It means moving away from the idea that only big actions or major decisions matter. While those moments certainly have their place, they are rare. Most of life happens in the in-between, in the mundane and routine. When you learn to be fully present and intentional in these moments, you begin to create a life of purpose and impact. You stop waiting for the perfect time or the right opportunity and start taking action with what you have, where you are. One of the most powerful ways to master the small moments is by developing discipline. Discipline is the ability to do what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. It's about showing up day after day after day and putting in the effort even when the rewards aren't immediate. The small moments are where discipline is forged. They are the early mornings when you choose to work on your goals instead of sleeping in. They are the moments when you resist the temptation to cut corners and instead commit to excellence. Discipline turns small moments into stepping stones toward greatness. Another aspect of mastering the small moments is cultivating mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of being fully present in the here and now. It's about paying attention to the details and approaching each moment with intention. When you are mindful, you begin to notice the opportunities that small moments provide. You see the chance to connect with a loved one during a casual conversation, to learn something new in an ordinary task, or to show kindness in a fleeting interaction. Mindfulness helps you slow down and appreciate the richness of life that is often hidden in the details. Small moments also present opportunities for growth. Every challenge, no matter how minor, is a chance to develop your character and skills. For example, waiting in line at the grocery store might seem like a wasted moment, but it can be an opportunity to practice patience. Completing a repetitive task at work might feel mundane, but it can be a chance to refine your focus and attention to detail. When you approach these moments with a growth mindset, you begin to see them as valuable rather than inconsequential. Each small moment becomes a stepping stone toward becoming the person you aspire to be. Relationships are another area where mastering small moments makes a profound difference. Relationships are built not in grand gestures, but in the everyday interactions that communicate care and respect. It's the small moments of listening, encouraging, and being present that strengthen connections and deepen trust. A kind word, a genuine smile, or a simple act of service can mean more than you realize. When you are intentional about showing up for others in these small ways, you create bonds that withstand the test of time and adversity. Mastering the small moments also requires consistency. Consistency is what transforms actions into habits and habits into character. It's not enough to seize a small moment once or twice. You must commit to showing up repeatedly. This is where many people falter. The allure of instant gratification and the temptation to prioritize what feels good in the moment over what is meaningful in the long term can derail even the best intentions. But when you stay consistent, you build momentum, and over time, the cumulative effect of those small moments becomes undeniable. Patience is another critical component of mastering small moments. In a world that prizes speed and instant results, patience is often overlooked. But small moments rarely produce immediate outcomes. They require you to trust in the process and believe that your efforts will pay off in the long run. This patience is what allows you to keep going. Even when progress seems slow, it reminds you that greatness is built over time and that every small step forward is a victory worth celebrating. Mastering the small moments also cultivates gratitude. When you pay attention to the little things, you begin to appreciate the beauty and abundance in your life. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you lack to what you have, and this shift in perspective has a profound impact on your mindset and well-being. It helps you find joy in the present moment and recognize the value of even the smallest blessings. Gratitude turns the ordinary into the extraordinary and reminds you that every moment is a gift. The impact of mastering the small moments extends far beyond your own life. When you approach each moment with intentionality and excellence, you set an example for others to follow. You show them what it means to live with purpose and integrity. Your actions inspire those around you to do the same, creating a ripple effect that amplifies your influence. In this way, mastering the small moments becomes a way of leaving a legacy. It's not about making a single grand contribution, but about living in a way that consistently adds value to the world. Ultimately, mastering the small moments is about embracing the idea that every moment matters. It's about recognizing that greatness is not a destination, but a journey, and that journey is made up of countless small steps. It's about showing up fully, no matter how insignificant the moment may seem, and giving your best effort, not because you expect immediate rewards, but because it's who you are. When you commit to mastering the small moments, you unlock the potential within yourself and open the door to a life of purpose, impact, and fulfillment. Mastering the small moments is one of the most profound and transformative habits you can adopt. Life at its core is not a collection of monumental events, but an ongoing series of small, seemingly inconsequential moments that shape who we are and where we are headed. These moments, while often overlooked, are the foundation upon which great achievements, strong relationships, and meaningful lives are built. The small moments are the raw materials of life, and when we learn to master them, we unlock a level of control and purpose that can change the trajectory of our lives. The allure of focusing solely on big moments is understandable. Milestones like promotions, awards, or life-changing decisions are dramatic and memorable. They make for great stories and inspire others. But what we often fail to recognize is that those milestones are the result of countless small moments of preparation, effort, and persistence. The seeds of success are planted in the quiet, ordinary moments when no one is watching. The person who consistently chooses to read a book instead of scrolling through their phone, to save money rather than spend it impulsively, or to practice a skill when others are relaxing, is the one who ultimately achieves their goals. Success is not built on isolated acts of brilliance, but on a steady accumulation of small, deliberate actions. Mastering the small moments requires an intentional approach to how we live our daily lives. It starts with a mindset shift, a recognition that every moment matters. This doesn't mean living in a state of constant pressure or perfectionism. And instead, it's about adopting a sense of purpose in even the simplest tasks. Whether you're washing dishes, having a conversation, or working on a project, mastering the small moments means giving your full attention and effort to whatever you are doing. It's about showing up fully, even when the task at hand feels mundane or insignificant. One of the greatest challenges of mastering small moments is their subtlety. They are easy to miss because they don't demand attention. There's no spotlight on the decision to wake up early or to skip the dessert. And yet these small decisions accumulate over time, creating either a foundation of strength or a series of missed opportunities. The person who recognizes the power of these moments understands that they are not insignificant. They are the building blocks of habits. And habits, once formed, have the power to shape your future in profound ways. Consider the concept of momentum. When you consistently make the most of small moments, you create positive momentum that propels you forward. Each small success builds on the last, reinforcing your confidence and discipline. It's like rolling a snowball down a hill. At first, it's small and requires effort to push. But as it gathers snow, it grows larger and moves faster, requiring less effort to maintain. The same principle applies to mastering the small moments. When you start to take control of these seemingly insignificant decisions, you create a ripple effect that amplifies your progress over time. Mastering the small moments also involves the ability to focus on the present. It's easy to get caught up in regrets about the past or worries about the future, but the present moment is the only time in which you have control. When you learn to live fully in the present, you begin to see opportunities that others overlook. You notice the chance to learn something new, to connect with someone on a deeper level, or to take a small but meaningful step toward your goals. Living in the present allows you to appreciate the richness of life and to make the most of each moment, no matter how small. Discipline plays a crucial role in mastering the small moments. Discipline is what enables you to consistently make choices that align with your values and goals, even when it's not easy or convenient. It's what helps you resist the temptation to give in to distractions or to take the path of least resistance. Discipline is built in the small moments when you choose to do what is necessary rather than what is comfortable. It's in the decision to stick to your morning routine, to complete a task with excellence, or to follow through on a commitment. Over time, these small acts of discipline compound, creating a life of integrity and achievement. Another essential element of mastering small moments is self-awareness. You need to be conscious of how you're spending your time and energy, as well as the habits and patterns that influence your decisions. This requires honesty and reflection. Are you spending your small moments in ways that align with your goals and values, or are you letting them slip by without intention? Self-awareness allows you to identify areas for improvement and to make adjustments that bring you closer to your aspirations. It also helps you recognize and celebrate the small wins that often go unnoticed. But mastering the small moments also involves a deep sense of gratitude. When you focus on the present and appreciate the opportunities it provides, you cultivate a sense of gratitude for the life you're living. So gratitude transforms ordinary moments into extraordinary ones. It shifts your perspective from what you lack to what you have and reminds you that even the smallest blessings are worth cherishing. This mindset not only enhances your quality of life, but also motivates you to make the most of each moment. Now, relationships are another area where mastering small moments has a profound impact. Strong relationships are not built on grand gestures alone, but on the accumulation of small acts of kindness, respect, and attention. It's in the moments of listening without distraction, offering encouragement, or showing appreciation that trust and connection are formed. These small moments create a foundation of love and understanding that can withstand the challenges and trials of life. When you prioritize the small moments in your relationships, you demonstrate to others that they matter to you, not just in extraordinary circumstances, but in everyday life. The principle of mastering small moments applies not only to personal growth and relationships, but also to professional success. In any career, it's the consistent effort in the small tasks that leads to long-term achievement. Whether it's preparing for a meeting, responding to an email, or staying organized, the attention you give to these details reflects your commitment to excellence. People who excel in their professions are often those who take pride in doing the little things well. They understand that success is not just about big wins, but about consistently showing up and delivering value in every interaction and task. Patience is another quality that is essential for mastering the small moments. In a world that often prioritizes instant gratification, patience allows you to stay the course even when progress is slow. Small moments rarely produce immediate results, but over time, their impact becomes undeniable. Patience reminds you that meaningful growth and success take time and that the journey is just as important as the destination. It helps you remain steadfast in your efforts, knowing that the rewards will come to those who are willing to persevere. Finally, mastering the small moments is an act of responsibility. It's a recognition that you have the power to shape your life, not through grand events, but through the choices you make every day. It's about taking ownership of your time, your actions, and your attitude. This responsibility is both empowering and humbling. It reminds you that while you may not control everything that happens in your life, you do control how you respond to each moment. And in that response lies the potential for greatness. Investing in personal growth daily is a principle that transforms not only the way you live, but also the person you become. It is the commitment to becoming better today than you were yesterday, a process that requires consistency, intention, and discipline. Personal growth isn't a one-time event or an occasional pursuit. It's a lifestyle, a mindset that drives you to continuously strive for improvement in every area of your life. This investment doesn't just yield rewards in your personal success, it impacts your relationships, career, health, and your overall sense of fulfillment. To invest in personal growth daily is to acknowledge that the greatest asset you have is yourself, and that nurturing this asset is the foundation for creating a meaningful and impactful life. The process of personal growth begins with the decision to take responsibility for your development. This decision is a powerful one because it acknowledges that your future is not dictated by your past or by circumstances beyond your control. Instead, it is shaped by the choices you make each day. When you choose to invest in your growth, you are essentially choosing to live a life of purpose. You recognize that stagnation leads to mediocrity and that growth is the only path to achieving your potential. This mindset shift is the starting point for profound change because it moves you from a place of passivity to one of intentional action. Daily investment in personal growth requires consistency. Consistency is what separates those who achieve lasting success from those who experience only fleeting progress. It's easy to get excited about personal development for a short period, to start reading a book, taking a course, or setting goals with enthusiasm, but true growth happens in the small daily actions that build over time. It's in the commitment to read a few pages every day, to practice a skill for a set amount of time, or to reflect on your experiences and extract lessons from them. Consistency turns these actions into habits, and habits are what create lasting transformation. One of the most important aspects of investing in personal growth daily is setting aside time for reflection. Reflection allows you to assess where you are, where you want to go, and how you can bridge the gap between the two. It's about taking a step back to evaluate your progress and identify areas where you can improve. This process of self-assessment is not about being overly critical of yourself, but about being honest and intentional. When you take time to reflect, you gain clarity about your values, priorities, and the direction you want your life to take. Reflection also helps you celebrate your successes, no matter how small, and use them as motivation to keep moving forward. Personal growth is not just about acquiring knowledge or skills, it's about applying what you learn in a way that creates tangible change. Knowledge without application is meaningless. When you learn something new, whether from a book, a mentor, or an experience, the key is to ask yourself how you can use that knowledge to improve your life or the lives of others. This requires a mindset of curiosity and a willingness to step out of your comfort zone. Growth often involves discomfort because it pushes you to confront your limitations and stretch beyond what you previously thought was possible. Embracing this discomfort is an essential part of the process. Another important element of daily personal growth is cultivating self-discipline. Growth doesn't happen by accident. It requires effort and intentionality. Self-discipline is what enables you to stick to your commitments even when motivation wanes or when distractions arise. It's the practice of doing what needs to be done, regardless of whether you feel like doing it. This discipline might mean waking up early to work on a personal project, choosing to exercise when you'd rather relax, or dedicating time to study when entertainment beckons. Each time you exercise self-discipline, you strengthen your ability to follow through on your goals, which in turn accelerates your growth. Investing in personal growth daily also means being proactive in seeking out opportunities for learning and development. Growth doesn't happen in isolation. It requires exposure to new ideas, experiences, and perspectives. This might involve reading books, listening to podcasts, attending workshops, or having meaningful conversations with people who challenge and inspire you. The key is to approach these opportunities with an open mind and a willingness to learn. Even when you encounter ideas that challenge your beliefs or force you to rethink your assumptions, these moments are valuable because they expand your perspective and deepen your understanding of the world. Another critical component of daily personal growth is surrounding yourself with the right environment and influences. The people you spend time with, the media you consume, and the environments you inhabit all have a significant impact on your mindset and behavior. If you want to grow, you need to surround yourself with people who inspire and challenge you to be better. These are the individuals who believe in your potential and hold you accountable to your goals. At the same time, you need to be mindful of the information you consume and the habits you adopt. A positive, growth-oriented environment fosters progress, while a negative or stagnant one can hold you back. Personal growth also involves developing emotional intelligence, the ability to understand and manage your own emotions while empathizing with the emotions of others. Emotional intelligence is a critical skill because it affects how you navigate relationships, handle stress, and make decisions. Investing in this area of growth means taking time to understand your emotional triggers, practicing self-regulation, and improving your communication skills. It also involves cultivating empathy and compassion, which not only enhance your relationships, but also help you lead and inspire others more effectively. Resilience is another area where daily investment in personal growth pays dividends. Life is full of challenges and setbacks, and how you respond to them often determines the trajectory of your journey. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from adversity, to learn from failure, and to keep moving forward despite obstacles. Developing resilience requires a mindset of optimism and a belief in your ability to overcome difficulties. It's about viewing challenges as opportunities for growth rather than as insurmountable barriers. Each time you persevere through a difficult moment, you build the mental and emotional strength needed to face future challenges with confidence. That's one of the most rewarding aspects of investing in personal growth daily is the sense of fulfillment that comes from knowing you are becoming the best version of yourself. This fulfillment doesn't come from achieving a specific goal or reaching a certain milestone. It comes from the journey itself. It's the satisfaction of knowing that you are making progress, that you are learning and evolving, and that you are contributing to something greater than yourself. This sense of fulfillment is what sustains you through the ups and downs of life and keeps you motivated to continue growing. Daily investment in personal growth is not just about personal success, it's also about the impact you have on others. As you grow, you become better equipped to serve, inspire, and uplift those around you. Your growth has a ripple effect, influencing your family, friends, colleagues, and community. When you commit to becoming the best version of yourself, you create a positive example that encourages others to do the same. This is how growth becomes not just a personal endeavor, but a collective movement that creates a better world. Ultimately, investing in personal growth daily is an act of self-love and responsibility. It's a recognition that you are worthy of the time and effort it takes to become the person you were created to be. It's about honoring your potential and taking ownership of your life. This journey is not always easy, and it requires persistence, humility, and a willingness to face your weaknesses. But the rewards are immeasurable. As you grow, you unlock new levels of wisdom, strength, and purpose. You discover that the process of becoming is as meaningful as the outcome, and that the journey itself is the greatest reward. Giving without expectation is one of the most profound acts of humanity. It transcends transactional exchanges and invites us into a realm of selflessness, where the act of giving itself becomes its own reward. To give freely without the anticipation of receiving something in return is to embrace the purest form of generosity, a generosity that flows not from obligation but from an abundance of spirit. This way of living transforms not only the giver but also the world around them, creating ripples of kindness, connection, and meaning that extend far beyond the initial act. When we give without expectation, we step away from the notion that every interaction must be reciprocal. We free ourselves from the mental accounting that often accompanies giving, keeping track of who owes what, or measuring the value of our contributions against what we receive. True giving is not a transaction, it is an expression of our humanity and our recognition of the interconnectedness of all people. It stems from a place of gratitude for what we have and a desire to share that abundance with others. This mindset liberates us from the constraints of entitlement and enables us to experience the joy of giving fully and wholeheartedly. At its core, giving without expectation is an act of love. Love, in its truest form, does not demand anything in return. It flows freely, seeking only to uplift, support, and nurture others. When we give with love, we are not focused on what we might gain or how we might benefit. Instead, our attention is on the needs, desires, and well-being of the person or cause we are supporting. This kind of giving is deeply fulfilling because it aligns with our innate desire to contribute to something greater than ourselves. It connects us to our higher purpose and reminds us of the beauty and strength of the human spirit. The beauty of giving without expectation lies in its simplicity. It does not require grand gestures or extravagant displays. Often, the most impactful acts of giving are those that seem small or ordinary: a smile to a stranger, a kind word to someone in need, or a helping hand extended without hesitation. These small acts, performed with a spirit of generosity, carry a profound significance because they remind others of their inherent worth and dignity. They create moments of connection and understanding that have the power to heal, inspire, and transform. Giving without expectation also fosters a sense of abundance. When we focus on what we can give rather than on what we might receive, we begin to see the world through a lens of plenty rather than scarcity. We realize that we have much to offer, whether it be our time, talents, resources, or even just our presence. This shift in perspective is liberating because it removes the fear of lack and replaces it with a sense of gratitude for all that we have. Through gratitude, in turn, fuels our generosity, creating a virtuous cycle that enriches both the giver and the receiver. One of the most remarkable aspects of giving without expectation is its ability to build trust and strengthen relationships. When we give freely without any hidden motives or strings attached, we demonstrate that our intentions are genuine. This authenticity fosters trust because it shows others that we value them for who they are, not for what they can do for us. Over time, this trust deepens, creating bonds that are rooted in mutual respect and care. These relationships are not transactional. They are built on a foundation of unconditional support and love. Giving without expectation also challenges us to confront our egos. The ego often seeks validation, recognition, and praise, and it can turn acts of giving into opportunities for self-aggrandizement. True generosity, however, requires humility. It asks us to set aside our desires for acknowledgement and to give simply because it is the right thing to do. This humility is transformative because it shifts our focus from ourselves to others. It reminds us that we are not the center of the universe, but rather part of a larger community where our contributions can make a meaningful difference. Another powerful aspect of giving without expectation is the way it cultivates empathy. When we give selflessly, we open our hearts to the needs and experiences of others. We begin to see the world from their perspective, understanding their struggles, hopes, and dreams. This empathy deepens our connection to others and reinforces the idea that we are all in this together. It breaks down barriers of judgment and prejudice, replacing them with compassion and understanding. Through this process, giving becomes not just an act of kindness, but a way of bridging divides and building a more inclusive and caring world. Giving without expectation also has a way of inspiring others. Acts of selfless generosity have a ripple effect. They encourage those who witness them to pay it forward. When people experience kindness without strings attached, it restores their faith in humanity and motivates them to extend that same kindness to others. In this way, a single act of giving can set off a chain reaction, spreading positivity and goodwill far beyond the initial gesture. This ripple effect demonstrates the immense power of giving to create change, not just on an individual level, but on a collective one. There is also a profound sense of freedom that comes with giving without expectation. When we give freely, we let go of the need to control outcomes or dictate how others should respond. This freedom allows us to experience the act of giving as its own reward, unencumbered by disappointment or resentment. It liberates us from the burden of unmet expectations and opens us to the joy of simply being of service. This shift in mindset is transformative because it teaches us to focus on what we can control, our actions and intentions, rather than on what we cannot, such as the reactions of others. Giving without expectation is also a practice that nurtures personal growth. It challenges us to examine our motivations and to align our actions with our values. It pushes us to become more self-aware and intentional in how we show up in the world. Over time, this practice cultivates qualities such as patience, resilience, and inner peace. It reminds us that true fulfillment comes not from what we acquire, but from what we give. This realization shifts our priorities and helps us lead lives that are more aligned with our higher purpose. There is an element of faith in giving without expectation. It requires trust in the idea that the universe operates on principles of reciprocity and balance, even if we don't always see it immediately. When we give freely, we may not receive something tangible in return, but we are often rewarded in ways that are far more meaningful. These rewards might come in the form of a deep sense of satisfaction, the joy of seeing someone else flourish, or the knowledge that we have made a positive impact. This faith in the inherent goodness of giving sustains us, even when our efforts go unnoticed or unacknowledged. Ultimately, giving without expectation is an expression of our shared humanity. It is a reminder that we are all interconnected and that our actions have the power to uplift and inspire others. It is a way of saying, I see you, I value you, and I am willing to share what I have. Because we are in this together, this kind of giving creates a sense of belonging and community that is essential for human flourishing. It reminds us that life is not a zero-sum game, but a collective journey where our greatest joy comes from lifting others as we rise. And so, in giving without expectation, we unlock the profound truth that the greatest wealth we possess lies not in what we hold, but in what we give away. It is in the quiet, unmeasured acts of kindness that we reveal the depth of our humanity. When we give freely, we do more than offer a gift. We offer hope, connection, and the undeniable affirmation that love exists in action. True giving asks for no applause, no recognition, and no reward, for its power self-contained, transforming both the giver and the receiver in ways that transcend the material. It is the language of the heart, spoken in moments that echo far beyond the here and now. So let us give with open hands and open hearts, not because we seek something in return, but because we understand that the act itself is the return. Let us become vessels of generosity, allowing kindness to flow through us and into the world, knowing that in this act, we are fulfilling one of life's most sacred purposes, to leave others better than we found them. For in the end, the measure of our lives will not be in what we have kept, but in what we have given.